Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Hey, what is up, trainers? Pogo Joel here, coming at you with a raid guide video. For today's raid guide, we have Raikou, the legendary electric beast from the Johto region. It is in raids for a special raid day for 3 hours. And you're definitely going to want one of these because Raikou is the most useful of the legendary beasts. And it's the best electric type Pokemon currently in the game. And if you are able to get your hands on one, the CP for a 100% non-weather boosted Raikou is 1972. And for a weather boosted in rainy weather, it's going to be a CP of 2466. And Raikou is an electric type Pokemon, so it's a pure electric type with a max CP of 3452, an attack stat of 241, a defense stat of 195, and a stamina stat of 207. So Raikou is definitely a top choice when it comes to electric types. You're definitely going to want to get your hands on one with the shiny variant out for this limited time, and having it as a great Pokemon for your electric teams, for your generalist teams, and even for PvP. So keep your eyes on this Raikou event. So looking at Raikou's weakness, it's only going to be weak to ground because it's a pure electric type, resisting other electric types, flying, and steel. The Raikou raid should be pretty easy. I remember when it first came out, there was a lot of buzz around YouTube because there was 4 trainers who defeated it with a maxed out ride-on teams. So 4 trainers took it down with maxed out ride-ons. Pretty interesting. You can easily trio it with the right levels, right counters, and some friendship there. So the best Pokemon to bring in the ground typing is going to be Garchomp. If you have one of those and you have one maxed out, beautiful. If you have one that's at least level 25, you will be golden. With Garchomp, you're going to want to run Mudshot Earthquake. It becomes the best ground type in the game. Then we're going to go with Groudon with Mudshot and Earthquake as well. Groudon is slightly less, just a little bit less worse or more not as good as Garchomp, I would say. It's crazy. Garchomp comes out of nowhere to take over the ground typing there. After that, we're going to go Mamoswine with Mudslap and Bulldoze. For sure, a great option there. Very tanky option. Then Rhyperior running Mudslap and Earthquake. And if you don't have a good Rhyperior, or if you don't have any Sinnohstones, no worry, my friends. Rhydon with Mudslap and Earthquake. Remember, that was the 4 trainers who had maxed out Rhydon teams back in the day. And then from there, Donphan running Mudslap and Earthquake is going to be very great for you there. It's one of my favorites to bring in. And then if you still need to dig a little bit deeper, Golem running Mudshot Earthquake or Mudslap Earthquake. That's going to be good for you there. And then from there, it kind of breaks up apart. Those are probably going to be the next best options, but other viable options are going to be Flygon with Mudshot Earthquake. Very fast Pokemon there. You can even run Swampert with Mudshot Earthquake. Some of the other options, if you had a Legacy Fury Cutter Nidoking, you can run Nidoking with Fury Cutter and Earth Power, or Fury Cutter and Earthquake. Those would probably be your best bets there. And then from there, it's really just generalists. So like Rayquaza, Salamence, maybe Hippotodon if you run like Fire Fang and Earth Power. Mewtwo with Confusion and Shadow Ball is like one of the best generalists. But since Raikou can possibly carry Shadow Ball itself, it can wreck you pretty hard if it does have Shadow Ball. That's the only main difference between Raikou before and Raikou now. It runs that Shadow Ball, and that makes it very unpredictable. Before, you knew it was just going to have these moves, so generalists can just come in and do damage. It didn't matter. You can go in there with your maxed out Mewtwo's and they'll still put in work for you. Now you have to worry if Shadow Ball's there, Mewtwo's dead. So be very careful on the movesets. Pay attention. So the team that I'm going to be running with is Mamoswine, Groudon, Rhyhorn, and Donphan. That's what I already had that had the ground moves, so I'm just going to roll with that. The Mamoswine, I maxed it out. It was a 98%, so I maxed it out. I wanted to make sure I had that ready to go, because it's the best Ice-type attacker, and it's one of the top ground-type attackers. And then those Groudons that are right there, they just happen to have both the ground moves and were weather boosted ones that I just caught, so there they are. I had a Rhyhorn with the ground moves, don't have to invest any TMs. Hey, I'm gonna use it. Donphan, I love it. It's a beast. I'm eventually gonna max this guy out, and he has the ground moves currently, so hey, we're gonna roll with it. So this is my current team. You can definitely make your team. There's a lot of options for you. I'll leave a link in the description to PokeBattler. They have all of the great raid counters you can use, and then the way they arrange it by, I think, total damage output. It'll show you how many times it takes that particular Pokemon that you're testing or battling with to go up against it, and yeah, it's a really great resource. I will leave that link in the description. And if you guys need anything else, feel free to reach right out. Let me know if you catch your shiny. Let's see, where am I at with my Raikous? Go to that Pokedex. Go over here. And come on. Here we go. Raikou. Scene 14, caught 11. Yeah, the last time this thing was out, I couldn't raid as much as I would have liked. I remember I was in a trip in San Francisco, and luckily I got to do, I think, 1 or maybe 2 there, and I did catch one. So I have that, but I have never been able to get a really good one, and this guy is so beastly as an electric type attacker. And as a PvP Pokemon, it's going to be very, very viable. And that's in, I think, every league. Even in Great League, we saw it in appearance there. And now that it has access to Shadow Ball, it is very, very dangerous. So definitely a Pokemon you want to consider for your team while you bring it in, or while you freaking go out there and raid against Pokemon that are weak to electric, and maybe even to Shadow Ball. If you found this helpful, please drop a like, subscribe, and come back to the video. Let me know how many shinies did you get on raid day, and if you didn't get any shinies, how many raids did you do and not get a shiny? So good luck everyone, and until next time, laters raiders.